Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Two of us.
Yes, it is.
Just Candice and I, just the girls this time, which I'm liking, even though we are missing Nicholas and Michael, but it's going to be a different spin on this Quantico after show on AfterBuzz TV. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to follow AfterBuzz TV on all social media. And as well, follow me, your host, Kanika Lal, on Twitter at Kanika Lal. And I'm joined by my beautiful co-host.
Hi guys, Candy Buen. You can find me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Candy Buen, CandiBuen.
I'm kind of sad you didn't do your introduction of Buenrostro.
Buenrostro.
There you go. Love it. So things are heating up. We're in episode 10. We're one episode away from the mid-season finale.
Yeah, you know.
And everyone's on edge.
Winter finale consists, like, that's done, and then does it start up again in January, February?
I believe it does.
Okay.
I have to double check on when it starts up, but it's like it could be around the end of January because that's when usually like the shows do that. Okay. So it's gonna probably be 11 more. So yeah, we have a lot going on already. Let's start with the Quantico days. By the way, this episode was called Quantico, which is interesting.
Was Quantico the last word?
It wasn't. It actually wasn't. So or maybe it was, but I'm always missing that. I have to be more careful next time.
Guys, let us know.
Yeah, I have to see if Quantico was... Because it's either the last one on this episode or the last week's episode. What was it that someone pointed out on the YouTube comments?
I believe they said it was the same episode.
Okay.
So, was Quantico used?
I don't remember because we both don't remember. But we'll check that out.
Guys.
Yeah, definitely. So we have the Quantico days. Miranda is back from the hospital. We don't really see that much Charlie in this episode, but maybe in the next one, I assume, because he definitely has something coming up. And before we get to the major assignment, I mean, pretty much here we have, they're like in this, practicing combating. Caleb gets a call from his father that Shelby's sister, who lives in where exactly? She lives somewhere in the Middle East. They've just been Skyping.
My question
is not really her sister.
But why would his father just randomly?
Well, because Clayton is involved in the FBI, and he is kind of like he's on top of all what Caleb is doing. Okay. And I feel like he looks out after Caleb's whatever Caleb's doing. So
because
there's
his
iffiness.
Actions will reflect upon him and the mother. So he just wants to make sure he doesn't have to clean up his act. Okay.
Yeah, totally. Okay. Yeah, because Caleb has messed up so much.
True.
So definitely Caleb has a little bit of iffiness about that. He has to kind of keep a close eye, and Shelby's like kind of wondering why he's so distant. Alex notices Natalie's fake scar when they're fighting, and she confronts her later. So we'll talk about that. And everyone's bullying Simon, especially Nima, because after he. Remember he turned in the serial killer from the last week's episode?
Yes.
That crazy woman. They're all thinking he's up to something.
Yeah, I mean...
But why? Like, Nima is so against him. After being...
That crazy woman was going to kill him.
I know. But he didn't say that. Did he?
No.
And last week's he didn't. So I feel like he should have.
I mean, I just don't... I don't see how they turned on him. I don't think he should have needed to explain himself. Like, what that woman did was wrong. Granted, it did let a serial killer go, but he did the right thing, and they're
exactly.
to practice the law and do what's right.
I
mean, I don't know. I guess it's like a catch-22.
It totally is. But Nima's like, I don't know, she was just too against him in this episode. Raina was feeling like a little bit soft for Simon because a lot of people were bullying him. Like every single person except for Ryan, because he stood up for Ryan last week's. But I don't know. It was interesting. But the actual assignment was that Miranda was giving every single agent trainee background checks of future trainees, which I thought was interesting, the ones who were coming into the FBI, pretty much just to tell them, like, be careful with details and things like that. And while all that's happening, pretty much they call like a big group meeting. And it comes out that Natalie's secret about her fake scar is not something to do with the terrorist attacks or anything. It has to do with her past boyfriend.
Do you think she's lying?
I know she could still be lying.
I still think she's shady. I don't know. There's
You still
something
don't-
about Natalie.
yeah.
I don't know.
You still don't like her.
I just don't see how because it shows, she was with Ryan.
Right.
And I thought her and Alex, they had like some sort of friendship. So kind of, she kind of went behind her back, even though he loves Alex. But I don't know. I think she's a little shady.
Yeah. I think so too. I mean, well, actually, I don't. I think like after this episode, it definitely cleared for me that she just has like had a horrible history with, trying to get custody of her daughter and having like a really, not a physically abusive, but a verbally abusive past boyfriend.
True.
And she pretty much revealed that she got pregnant and he forced her to kind of keep the baby. He forced her to kind of also stay in Quantico and never like escape. So she kind of had to hold back some information coming in.
But I thought, didn't she say in one of the episodes that he threatened to take full custody of the daughter if she did go to Quantico? So.
But that's why she didn't take. No, wait, now I'm confused. What?
Because I remember she was talking about her daughter and her ex was saying, if you do go to Quantico.
Well, no, that's why she had to give herself a fake scar so she could take full custody and say and lie, not lie, but just say that he was abusive.
Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. So that was like pretty dark the way like that was opened up. But Alex actually told Ryan, like, can you just dig up some information on Natalie? And Natalie found out that they were kind of like searching through her stuff, and she was like, just stay out of it. But eventually got to the whole borough, meaning all of Quantico. And who else catches someone in the act? I know that Caleb catches Shelby in the act. Caleb is on Shelby's computer looking at files, and Shelby's like, what are you trying to do right now? But Caleb has to do his job, I feel. Don't you think he has to listen to his father?
This is the second he violated her. This is like the second time he's like not trusted her,
I know.
I don't know.
But, I mean, I don't blame him. She is kind of a dad sleeper.
Well, this is before she slept with the dad.
I know,
so maybe this
still,
is why
like,
it built up.
Exactly.
But no, it still doesn't justify sleeping with
No, it doesn't. No, not really.
No.
Not at all. But it's kind of interesting, like how I still don't get the connection between Clayton and Shelby.
I don't either.
Like how they actually started to fall in love.
There's no chemistry. It's
there's nothing.
It's nothing. It's just, it's forced. It feels like it's pushed or it's forced.
Yeah, it's totally put.
Maybe Clayton had an ulterior motive.
I know. I still think Clayton is shady.
Me too.
Oh my God,
Definitely,
totally. Yeah. And we're totally going to go over that towards the end when we do predictions. But yeah, there's something definitely up with him. And what else do we have? Nima, who's on Simon's case, confronts this man who is and maybe your, I'm not sure if you thought he was cute, but my man crush Monday for today. His real name, I'm not sure if I can pronounce his real name, is Mark Ganime. He's like half Lebanese. He was so good looking, and he was only in the episode for like 5 seconds, but like that face though, those features, that scruff.
He was attractive, but my man crush Monday.
Is it still Ryan Booth?
Ryan Booth. Yeah.
You do like him. Oh yeah, this episode showed his muscles a lot. I'm not sure if you noticed that, but it totally did. So all that happens, and pretty much we find out that Simon is Nima accuses him of being a war criminal because she saw some like photos of Simon during the war and doing kind of like shady things, but he has a huge opening. This episode was just all of Simon.
Yeah.
And I think he's such a good actor. Like, from someone who can, from the very beginning, pretend that he's gay, be on kind of not both sides of the attacks, but kind of just have so many built-up secrets. And play that as an actor, I'm saying it's so impressive,
different layers, and you bring so much color to his character. Yeah, he's a great actor.
Yeah, so I thought that was really strong on his part. So pretty much he opens up that way. I want to make sure I didn't skip anything before. He pretty much opens up that he was a translator during the war, but he also was forced to interrogate women in a way, kind of like lure them in to get information. So they didn't really blatantly, outwardly say it, but they kind of did say he had to probably use sexual force. Wouldn't that, like, I feel like luring women in is kind of, in a way. Not like use sexual force, maybe like sexual... What do you think that means when he's like, we had to lure them in for questions, and he was so shaken up by that? You know, like during the war and stuff. I mean, that happens.
I just think he has a little bit of PTSD syndrome still going on.
Definitely.
But I mean, it's got, he's just so messed up in the head.
Yeah, totally. He's been through a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's been through a lot.
I don't think he's a bad guy. I just think he's really just messed up. And he needs some serious therapy.
Yeah, and he's so strong. And I really like, though, how Ryan stood up for Simon during the whole time they were interrogating him, because Ryan kind of slipped out that Simon pushed him against the wall. And Ryan goes, when I saw that in your eyes, I knew you were a soldier like me. You know, they kept using that theme of we're both soldiers and we're fighting for our country and we're sacrificing. But unfortunately, Miranda overheard that in the same room when they were, after the trial of Natalie. And she kind of let everyone go. She let Natalie go. But she said, Simon, let's, stick to this, come aside. And that's when she let Simon go.
Yeah.
Because Simon was you're not allowed to assault someone.
Yeah.
And he kind of brought up to her, he was like, well, what about that time when you locked me in the bathroom? How is that justified?
Yeah.
You know?
And what did she say?
She didn't really say anything like that. Like, she wasn't at all responsive to that. She was just like, you can't do that, blah, blah, blah. For me, and I still stand in my opinion, there's something with Miranda. It could be because of the son, but I don't know.
Or you then again, a mother would do anything to save her son, so maybe.
Yes.
I mean,
a mother would do anything to save her son.
I mean, I don't know. Every episode, my head goes in a million different places. I'm just...
Because you find out one thing and you're like, well, that just blows up my whole theory, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like trying to put a huge puzzle together and you think you have that one piece and then it's like takes 20 away every episode. So.
But what do you think now that Ryan, who's leaving too, he's done with his undercover...
do you think he's really going to leave?
That was also revealed. Like, so many things were revealed. He kind of just like, yeah, I was here undercover. He's leaving, so, and the last scene was like pretty touching between him and Alex, but now Simon's leaving, and we knew that from the beginning because of his flash forward when he was like, you guys all betrayed me in a way. But do you think Ryan's gonna come up again in Quantico, or we're just gonna see him in post Quantico?
I think he's gonna come up again.
Yeah
Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah, I wonder how though. And then, unfortunately, between Caleb and Shelby, we find out that, and it's a trick. It's a good way that they did it. Caleb was like, "Let me just see if she's safe." So Shelby was kind of on the other end, and the sister didn't know that Shelby was in the room. And the next thing you know, Caleb is talking. He's like, "I know what you're doing. Stop doing it." And he's like, or no, he tricked her, and he was like, "I'll get 5% of your cut." She's like, "Fine." And you see Shelby like crying, like, "Wow, it was pretty much blackmailed."
Yeah.
Did you have a sense that girl was up to something like
shady,
naughty and shady?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, she was giving her money so much, and it's like something your sister, like, she has no family, Shelby. She has no parents, no sisters or brothers, and the one person who you can call somewhat of a family is just not there for you. Sad. These agents definitely live sad lives, man. Double lives, secret lives, but like rough histories.
I think maybe that's how they need that to be an agent, because you have to have like double lives. You can't just have like a round of just basic black and white. You have to be able to have some sense of
I totally agree, and I think that's why they become trainees. You're totally right. Now let's move on to New York, the second part of the timeline. Pretty much, Alex, she's playing. She's hard. She's tough. She is going through with this portrayal that she's guilty. She has a sentencing in 24 hours, so everyone all of the Quantico agents come together and they're like, let's find the second bomb. And that was a really nice sense of community. I really like that. I love how they stuck together. And pretty much, though, here's the twist, is that Miranda and O'Connor suggest to Alex that she needs to spy on everyone, all the teammates. Do you think that was a smart move on Miranda's part?
I don't think so, because now it's like she's going to be like, it's going to be in the back of her head. And these people already put themselves on a limb for her because they helped her innocence get away. So I don't know. It's all up in the air.
It is, but at the same time, I feel that Miranda's seen so much at Quantico. She's seen so many of these agents kind of evolve and also hide things. So maybe she thinks that
Everybody's hiding things.
Because she herself does
she's
too.
Messed up. She's seen so much. She thinks her own son stabbed her.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
It's only normal to just never trust anybody and always look out.
Yeah.
So Alex was not very comfortable with this, but that was their only choice. But while they were looking at the surveillance cameras, though, they did find some interesting things. They found that Shelby was talking to somebody. We never really clarified that. A very personal conversation. Raina was visiting Hamza in the hospital. You remember Hamza, the one that they worked with before. And she kisses him on the forehead in the hospital, which was interesting. And Simon was meeting with the bomb maker. So Nima comes into the room while they're looking at every other agent, and she sees that they're spying. And she had no idea that Raina was visiting Hamza. So I wonder, do you have any predictions on that, or is it just kind of lost? Like, why was Raina visiting Hamza and also into him in that way? It was a very, like, loving, enduring kiss, you know?
Yeah. Maybe she, has some feelings for him.
Yeah. You don't think it's guilty for her to be with him? It's just more so she happened to fall in love with someone who's kind of like a bad guy?
Maybe, because they were spending a lot of time together. So, I mean, one can only predict.
Yeah, I know. I wonder. Well, I guess we'll find out more about that because it definitely wasn't cleared up. But the most important thing they found was that Simon, and he knew he was being watched. Simon knew he was being watched.
Oh, 100%.
Simon meets the bomb maker randomly in the park, and they're sitting on the bench. And we didn't get much of the conversation, but pretty much Simon was like, next time this happens, just leave it to the two of us. So right there and then, we're probably all like, oh my God, I knew it. Or some of you were probably like, oh wow, I did not see this coming. Simon definitely looked so guilty, and they were all like, we definitely need to call Simon in. But, hold on, I wanted to make sure. Well, before they were called in, everyone started just coming in and seeing that Miranda and Liam and Alex were looking at them, and Shelby just is like, why are you doing this? Like, here we are, here for you, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I'd be pissed too.
Would you be pissed?
Yes.
I would understand, though. I'd be like, I get it. Like, you can't.
I mean, yeah.
I know what they've done, but for her, but still.
I mean, it's already established that she didn't do it, and these people, like I said, they put themselves on a limb for her, and I think there should be some sense of trust. And I think Miranda, she has some sort of issues, like a trust issue, and she's kind of like projecting her thoughts onto Alex and kind of brainwashing her a little bit.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I understand, like, from Caleb to Shelby to Simon to Ryan, they were all risking their careers for Alex. But Alex just needs to, like, figure out and clear her name, so she has to do whatever she can. Because as Simon just comes in, he's like, I know you're looking for me. And he pretty much revealed everything. I mean, it's still kind of confusing for me because how would his bomb designs actually be saving people? I might be lost on that, and please clarify me. I'm sorry, I'm a little confused on that. But pretty much since the Quantico days, he was planning... he was kind of fixing the flaws of these designs. And he didn't want anyone to be seeing these. It was just for him. Maybe he wanted to actually design it so that it could be avoided. A bomb attack could be avoided. That's what he wanted to do. Because, in the last episode, he met with a bomb maker and was like, let's stop.
Maybe he was just wanting to get into the mind of a bomb maker to see how in the future maybe, to stop
exactly. It. Because his whole motive really is to save as much as he, and that's a really nice thing.
And I don't think
he fights for that.
He's not a bad guy.
Oh no. But unfortunately, someone he suggested at Quantico took a hold of these designs and actually planted the bomb, something he wanted to avoid.
Framed Alex.
Yeah. God, I wonder who that is.
Should we do
so
guilty,
crazy.
Not guilty yet?
Well, the most important last scene, though, is that everyone's against Alex. They leave her stranded alone, but Alex has her sentencing in the next couple of hours, and she's like, I could just be going to jail tomorrow, but Simon, she meets up with Simon privately at night. She's like, we need to find who this bomber is. Like, let's walk through the fire again. She tells him, like, when you left Quantico and people doubting you, I was still here for you. I saw through it all, and I saw you. Let's go back to those days. And it's just kind of sad. Like, Simon's like, we can't.
It was a really powerful scene.
Yeah. He was like, we just can't. And I was shocked. I was like, Alex is just all alone, in this. And next thing you know, someone who doesn't look Obviously it was Elias, but they kind of made it in a way where it couldn't be him, but it was totally him. Because Elias all of a sudden became Alex's legal counsel. We saw on last week's episode. So, or was it this week's?
Last week.
It was last week, right? We saw that too. And he just captures Simon, and that was the last ending scene. So it's so interesting because that makes Elias super guilty.
Or unless he's kidnapping him to make him cooperate with what, to help Alex out, because he's saying, no, we can't.
That's true.
Maybe, they're going to coerce him into it.
Well, let's go to predictions.
All right.
We can talk more about this, but what's going to happen.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
So we have some very guilty people, including Elias.
Yes. No, I don't think he's guilty. I think...
Oh, okay, I'm writing that for myself then.
I think Elias, he kidnapped him because he's doing what he has to do because he has Alex's legal counsel. And Simon didn't want to cooperate. So he's, doing what he has to do to make him cooperate.
Yeah.
So...
Any other predictions you think?
Just Ryan and Alex, they're gonna get married and have babies.
I hope.
Let's see, Natalie. I just don't trust her.
Yeah.
I think I don't know.
Something's up.
Yeah, she's just shady. I mean, I don't know if I buy the whole abusive
thing,
father thing.
And she was let off the hook for that, so.
Yeah. So I mean, there's something to her. I can't put my finger on it.
Okay.
Miranda, I think she's all sorts of messed up, but I mean, I'm like 50-50 with Miranda now. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
Well, next week we do see that Caleb's mom is in the picture, and she tells Shelby like you're going down or something like that. So there's going to be a cat fight between...
I can't wait.
So Joshua Safran actually told Entertainment Weekly that next week's episode is very Gossip Girl inspired. That made me so happy.
I'm excited.
I feel like it's going to be a whole thing with like Caleb's mom, Shelby, Alex. Alex's mom might be in the picture too. Who knows?
I know. She hasn't been in...
she hasn't been in so long.
Like the first 2 episodes.
Yeah. So I think something is shady going on between Clayton, Caleb's dad.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I feel like he must have some sort of knowledge into what's happening, because he still knows that someone
used her badge.
Someone used Alex's badge, and that was not addressed yet, was it? I didn't miss that, right? Yeah. So something is super weird with Clayton. I think it's going to be revealed in the next episode. What else? I mean, it's a mid-season finale, so I feel like we're going to get a lot of heavy, drama. I still think Miranda's a little bit shady, in my opinion. I think it's too easy to say Natalie's shady, but her boyfriend Ryan, who's kind of just there in the background, must have more to do. And he might have gotten Natalie involved. The Glee actor, because as Nicholas keeps saying, like, they wouldn't just put in a Glee actor if you didn't have a bigger role.
True, but one of our fans said he wasn't on Glee. He was on something else. But yeah, he is a big actor. He is a big...
Well, then Nicholas, you're wrong.
Yeah, he is a name actor. He is a big name in the actor.
Yeah. But, okay, then maybe I take back that prediction that he has a bigger role. There was somebody else Elias. I think Elias... I'm not sure if Elias is guilty, but something up with him. I never liked him. I never liked his face. So I'm discriminatory against his face. What else could I predict? God, this is hard. But I'm just going to think he's guilty.
Tweet us some predictions. You guys help us out.
You
just
guys
the two
always
of us
do, and we love that. I especially love that. We love all your positive and negative comments. It helps us as a panel. So I think that's the wrap of this week's after show. It was a little bit short. We only had 2 people, but I hope you enjoyed it either way. Next week, there will be more people on the panel, so make sure to tune in. Again, thanks for watching. Make sure to follow AfterBuzz TV on all social media, and as well, follow me, your host, Kanika Lal, on Twitter and Instagram at YouCanHaveItLal, and actually everywhere on Kanika Lal.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight. You can find me on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, all Candy Buen, CandiBuen.
See you next week for the finale.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AFTERBUZZTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AFTERBUZZ TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.